Hi guys, and welcome back to Reader on the Right. My name is Rachel and today I've got something a little bit different for you. I think I may have done one of these before a few years ago on my channel, but it's not something that I've done for a while and I'm really excited to be involved. So I am part of a blog tour. This is a book that I was highly anticipating, so I'm really honoured to be a part of it, so thank you so much to Doubleday for sending me this. So this is a book that we're going to be talking about today. So this is Coming Up for Air by Sarah Leipziger. I hope that's how you pronounce that. This is actually coming out on the 19th of March, so it's out in a few days, so you can get your hands on it very soon. So this book opens with a drowning. It's in 1899 and it's in Paris, and it is a lady who is drowning herself in the River Seine. Now, looking through the research, I've actually found that this is based on a true story. If you've ever heard of The Unknown Woman in the Seine, it also has a French translation which I'm not going to try and pronounce, but you may have heard of it. It is about a story of an unknown woman who they believe was around 16, who was pulled out of the Seine River and believed to have killed herself, and a death mask was made, but she had this like really serene, beautiful face, and it just looked so strange juxtaposing that with the idea of her suicide. Around that time, people would actually have different versions, different casts of the death mask in their houses, so it was really interesting to me that Sarah was going to be given that person a backstory and this imagined life and bringing her to life, being as she's such a mystery to the world. It was so interesting to hear kind of like a fictionalized idea of what might have happened to her. So this book is split into 3 different narratives. We have the story of the unknown woman, who is never given a name throughout this, opening with her drowning in the Seine, but then it goes backwards to see how she arrived in Paris, and we navigate her life through her in first person, so it's a really in-depth, detailed description of her life. We then move to 1950s to a man called Peter, who is a toy maker who is grieving the loss of his child. And then we have Anouk, who, spoiler, may be my favourite character in this, who is the daughter of Nora and Red, who has cystic fibrosis. This is set in Canada in the 1970s through to present day, I believe 2017. I think maybe the reason that I resonated so much with Anouk's story is that it felt so invasive hearing about her life with cystic fibrosis and the desperate need for a new pair of lungs in order to survive. I found it genuinely quite upsetting and at times difficult to read, but that is completely the intention for it. I think ultimately what connects all these stories is grief and loss and lungs and drowning, whether that's metaphorical drowning or physical drowning or emotional drowning. And Sarah weaves these narratives together so effortlessly that you never once feel confused on to who's talking or unsure of where each story is going. The voices are so rounded and so different that you can really hear each character's voices be heard properly. It doesn't feel like anybody else has any more weight in the story. It's so evenly distributed. It's fantastic. The chapters are quite short, which means you get these little bursts of intensity and emotion, and it's genuinely quite poetic. It's excellently written and it really gives you that sense of reading like almost like an extended poem, which sounds a little bit strange, but the way it's woven together really gives you that feel. I think this book focuses on longing, the longing for a different life, for a different setting, wanting something that is not your own, especially when you juxtapose the 3 very different stories together. You see the similarities in there are quite strong, and you really notice that especially towards the end of the book. I don't want to give away any spoilers. I really want you guys just to go and pick it up and read it. If you're interested in nice deep dive character studies, you like the themes of grief, of loss, of longing, then I really feel like this book is for you. It's a book that is genuinely written with such compassion and such honesty that I feel like you just lose yourself in it, and you find that 2 hours have passed and you're halfway through the book and you don't want to stop. I've said this before, but I love books that you can just sit down and read and you just want to absorb all in one go because of the way it's written and the way that the narrative draws out, and I feel like that's exactly what Sarah's done here. It's really moving. It left me with a heavy but also uplifted heart at the same time. Like I said, it's out on the 19th of March, so I'll leave a link below when it's out where you can go and purchase it. I'll also leave a link to the post of the blog tour so you can go and have a look at everybody else's and have a read and what other people have said, but so far it's had rave reviews and I can see why. It's genuinely fantastic. Thank you again to Doubleday for sending me this, I really appreciate it. And yeah, that is all I have to talk about today. I hope you have a wonderful day, stay safe guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!